What's going on, guys? Today I'll be reviewing the S60a stabilizer by Imorden. Now Imorden did send this out to me for review, but as always I'll be giving you guys my unbiased opinion. All of the footage in this video was shot with the S60a stabilizer, with the exception of some drone shots. Now all of this footage is raw and none of it has post stabilization. With that said, let's get to it. This is the S60a stabilizer by Imorden. It's primarily made out of aluminum and can support cameras from 2 to 6 pounds. Now if your camera and lens combination weighs less than 2 pounds, Imorden recommends the smaller version of the stabilizer, the S40. I'll be sure to leave links to both of these devices in the description. The S60a comes with a carrying bag, counterweights, and a quick release plate that supports 1/4 and 3/8 inch mounts. Now the main factor in achieving stabilized shots is the 3-axis gimbal, the pitch axis, the yaw axis, and the roll axis. To properly balance the device, you'll need to make a couple of adjustments. This can be done by adjusting the quick release plate left or right, forward or backwards, adjusting the length, or adding or removing weights. Now these devices can be a bit tedious to balance, but one of the neat things that Imorden included is the addition of measurements on the quick release plate. This is pretty helpful when making adjustments as it gives you a point of reference. So to get started, we want to first mount the camera. Now you're going to want to add all the accessories that you'll be using now, because doing so afterwards will throw off the balance. Next you'll want to make sure that the camera rests above the base. If the base rests above the camera, you'll want to first try extending the device. If that doesn't work, you'll want to add more weights. Next you'll want to measure the time it takes for the device to rotate from a horizontal position to vertical, 1/1000. This is a bit too fast. You'll want to adjust it so that it takes about 2 to 3 seconds. Here I decided to remove some weights. Now normally you want to start off with as few weights as possible and add more as needed. This will help keep the overall weight of the device to a minimum. Once you've achieved the 2 to 3 second rotation, you'll next want to balance the device. This can be done by sliding the camera forward or backwards, or left or right. You also have the option of sliding the weights forward or backwards. Now one thing that I don't like about this device is the position of the knob that allows the plate to slide forward or backwards. Here you can see that if I balance the device horizontally first and later need to make adjustments to the vertical balance, I'd have to slide the quick release plate to the right and ultimately unbalance it horizontally. Now because the quick release plate has measurements on the front, I would at least be able to reference my position, but still, I'd rather not have to move it. An alternative option would be to move the weights forward or backwards, but if you've already moved the weights as far as they can go, then yeah, this would be a bit frustrating. Now if your camera has a built-in level, then this can be pretty helpful when balancing the device. Once the stabilizer is balanced, you're good to go. Now when using the device, the camera can still rotate. So it's a good idea to use 2 fingers to prevent this, or subsequently to turn the camera in the direction that you want it to go. Also, you'll want to use a wide angle lens with this device. I'm using a 50mm for demonstration purposes only, but you'll want to shoot with something a bit wider. All of my shots were shot at 18mm. Okay, so now on to my opinion of this device. Now in terms of stabilization, you can spend about 1 day with this device and achieve near perfect horizontal stabilization. However, it's the vertical stabilization that requires a bit more effort. Now just like any other stabilizer, you're going to have to bend your knees, step heel to toe, or heel to ball, but you're still going to get some vertical bouncing. Now this isn't specific to this device. This seems to be a pretty common problem with stabilizers in general. I actually own a DJI Osmo, which is motorized, and I have this exact same problem. Now part of this could just be me, but I know that this is a common problem because DJI created a Z-axis stabilizer attachment to try and minimize some of the bounce on their device. Now I say that to say that there is a learning curve, and yes, you will get some vertical bouncing, but this is pretty common with most of these stabilizers. However, the amount that you get will solely depend on your form. With that said, this device has a quality build and is certainly better than hand holding your camera or dragging your tripod or slider around to achieve smooth motion. Overall, it does the exact same thing as other manual stabilizers that cost 4 to 5 times as much. Now Imorden is currently running a clearance sale from now until August 15th, and the price of this device has been reduced to $68.95. So if you guys want to check this out, I'll leave a link in the description for this model and the smaller version, which is about 15 bucks cheaper. But I'm curious to know what you guys think about stabilizers, so leave a comment below. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. So until next time, peace.